Okay, I think recording is in progress. Welcome everyone to the Veterans Advisory Commission for June 8th. It is 1:32, just a couple minutes behind, but we'll get started and with our next agenda item. Next slide, please. Commissioner McFadden, are you willing to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, I can do that.
Great, thank you.
All right, please raise your hand to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great, thank you so much. Go to the next agenda item, please. Okay, so as I mentioned before, we have a couple commissioners who are unavailable today, but we're going to take roll call to make sure that we have quorum. If not, we'll proceed with the meeting. We just won't be able to move on any official items. So Stephanie, if you could please move forward with the roll call.
Joe Leal.
Present.
Brittany Moore. Patricia Jackson Kelly. I've seen her.
She's definitely online.
Joanna McFadden.
Present.
Anthony Allman.
Present.
Jennifer Campbell. Marcel Rodarte. John Gutierrez.
Present.
And Dennis Anderson. Okay, one last time for Brittany Moore. And I know Jennifer Campbell's out, so is Dennis Anderson, and then Marcel Rodarte. Chair, you do not, there is no quorum.
Understood. Thank you. We can move forward with the next agenda item. There were a couple things that, I'm sorry, with regard to the approval of the minutes. We won't be able to approve the minutes without a quorum, so we'll just have to take note. The next time we do have quorum, we'll have to approve the minutes for May as well as June. Next agenda item, please. Okay, for the chairman report, I always like to start with the notice of meeting. So the notice of meeting was sent on June 2nd at 2:42 p.m. If you didn't get that email, make sure the email address mva@subscriptions.lacounty.gov is not caught in your spam filter. If you'd like to subscribe and you're not on the list, but if you want to become on the list, the contact email for the department is info@mva.lacounty.gov. I would send your request there. There should be a subscription box on the website. I don't think it's there yet, but we'll work on getting that updated as soon as possible. Our YouTube channel is growing leaps and bounds. We have 23 subscribers. That's 5 more from last month. So if you can do so, please subscribe so that the department can claim a unique, or what's called a unique or vanity URL. So it would just be youtube.com/LA County DMVA, something like that. They can't do that until they reach 100 subscribers. So if you have a moment, please look up LA County Military and Veterans Affairs on YouTube and subscribe. That's also where these meetings can be found about a week after the event. The last meeting, we talked about the creation of 2 ad hoc subcommittees, a bylaws subcommittee to review the draft bylaws that were generated from a previous commission, although that commission did not take formal action to ratify or adopt the bylaws. So we talked about setting up a bylaws subcommittee, and we also talked about creating a separate ad hoc nominating committee for the next leadership. We did not motion and vote to create those ad hoc subcommittees at the last meeting. I was hoping that we could do that this meeting, but unfortunately we don't have quorum, so we won't be able to move on any of those official items. But I think we can have a general conversation about the formation of both subcommittees. So as I mentioned to Commissioner Leal prior to the meeting, I think maybe we can start with the bylaws subcommittee, or we can create both subcommittees at the same time. Ideally, this is just my opinion, I'd love to hear from the other commissioners, that the nominating process would be folded into the commission bylaws. Right now, because we don't have any bylaws, we don't have a formal nominating process for the next set of leadership. So my suggestion would be to let's just focus on the bylaws subcommittee, have that subcommittee review the draft, maybe present some edits if necessary to the commission at large for ratification. Or we can go with a separate process for the bylaws and a separate nominating committee, as previously discussed. I don't think that there is I think we all get to the same destination. It's just a question of how we want to get there. So I'd invite commissioners, if you have any feedback, any thoughts. Previously, the bylaws subcommittee, we discussed perhaps that I would chair that along with Commissioner Campbell and Commissioner Jackson Kelly. After I thought about it some more, I don't think it would be appropriate for me to chair the bylaws subcommittee, given the fact that I already chair the at-large commission, but also that Commissioner Campbell and I both hail from Supervisory District 3. And so it'd be a good opportunity to get another supervisory district as a part of that conversation. So I just wanted to throw that out there, but I welcome feedback from other commissioners.
I think, go ahead.
Commissioner Jolie. So, Chairman, as previously discussed, I think it's a great idea, obviously, to focus on the committees prior to. So you have my support. I think it's a wonderful idea.
Would you prefer to go through with just the bylaws subcommittee at this point, or create a bylaws as well as a separate nominating committee?
We've been putting off those bylaws for quite a while. I think that should be our primary focus, given that, as you mentioned prior, a majority of the substance that we're looking for that's going to allude to the elections and positions stem from the bylaws. So I think we just need to seal the deal on it and just move forward. Okay,
great. Thanks for your input. Commissioner McFadden, I think you had something to offer.
Yes, I was just in agreement that I would think the bylaws subcommittee should take precedence before going to the nominating committee. That's the whole formation of everything that we're operating under anyway. So I would focus on that. And then in regards to who's leading that, the chairing of that organization, it makes sense to have different people within the group be a part of it. But I would offer that I would probably say yourself, as you are the chair, since you're closer to the information at this current position, would be the person represented from the district. That would be my only suggestion to what you've mentioned previously.
Mm-hmm. The reason why I think Commissioner Campbell is actually ideally suited by virtue of her extensive experience with the American Legion, both as a post commander, I think she's now area commander. I think she has a lot more familiarity with bylaws and the potential, amendments to make things go a little bit smoother than I do personally. But we can't move on creating the subcommittee or the membership at this meeting. So I think that's something we'll just take into consideration.
Yeah. And then in that case, I would still say that I think it's beneficial for anybody who's chairing to be close to understanding the bylaws and the creation of it going forward. So I wouldn't necessarily remove yourself from that process. But that's, that would be my only addition to it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Commissioner Gutierrez, anything? Any thoughts?
No, I'm good with it.
Okay, so it sounds like we'll just focus on the creation of an ad hoc bylaws subcommittee. That subcommittee will just work on reviewing the current draft, offering some amendments, and presenting that back to the full commission. And at that point, we could decide whether or not to vote on it. So again, we can't do anything at this meeting. We have to have a quorum to do that, which hopefully we'll have at the next meeting. So right now, stand by to stand by, as they say. That's all I have for the chair report. We'll move on to our next agenda item. Unfortunately, there were no registered public comments for this meeting. Just for the members of the public, a link to register for public comment goes out with the notice of meeting. And then if you register there, we'll put your name in the list. So today we don't have any formal public comments. We'll move on to the next agenda item. Okay. Rocio, you're here. Pedro, are you here as well? I'm looking at the attendee list.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Great. So we're going to do something different this time. As I mentioned before, we're going to transfer control to the presenting body so that you can go through your slides. I'll start a 10-minute timer, and I'll just probably give you a 2-minute warning when before the 10 minutes is up. So the floor is yours. I think you wanted to share video. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. It might be an audio issue, but I'll let you know. So feel free.
Okay, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rocio Romero, and I'm the Recruitment and Admissions Manager for NPower Los Angeles. And I'll just throw it down to our Program Director.
Thank you. My name is Pedro Ramadi. I am the Program Director here for NPower California. I'm a U.S. Air Force veteran. I've been with NPower since its very first class back in 2015. Kind of changed roles since then, and just really love the mission. I love serving veterans, spouses, and eligible dependents as well.
Thank you, Pedro. And I want to thank the Veteran Advisory Commission for the opportunity to introduce you all to NPower, and also our free technical training program designed for military veterans, military spouses, and young adults 18 to 26. But first, before we jump into our presentation, I just want to virtually introduce you all to Ivan. He's a Marine veteran and is currently the technology support analyst at Deloitte. And so let's see if this video works. I would like to hear from someone if they can hear the audio. Can everybody hear that?
No.
Unfortunately not, no.
No?
There's
Okay.
when you share the screen, there's a little tab that says include audio.
Okay, include audio. Let's see if we can do that. And exactly where is that?
Mm-hmm. Give me a
Any
second.
thoughts? If not,
And
we'll just move
share,
forward.
and then where it says share content, there to the right, you're gonna see something that says include computer sound.
Right, yes, I see it. Thank you.
Ma'am.
Okay, so here we go again. Let's see here. How's that sound?
Can hear it.
As a former Marine, combat veteran, former police officer with a wife and 3 kids, we had lost everything. The people in this country are quick to say thank you for your service, but do nothing to thank you for your service. Living with my mom, sleeping on the floor in a house that wasn't large enough for all of us, just demoralizing. There was nowhere to go. I ran into a friend of mine who was also in the Marine Corps, and he told me about this program called NPower. Everything is free. When does this happen? Nothing is free. But NPower's out there doing what they do. They were always standing right behind me saying, hey, if you need help, we're here. They set us up for internships. I threw myself into the mix and I started shadowing someone that I felt was very intelligent, knew what he was doing. 3 days into my internship, this same person approached me and told me, I believe we should keep you. 9 months in, after becoming full-time, I have people coming to me on a regular basis for assistance. I don't know if I can express enough how much good Empower is doing. Things have accelerated for my family so much. It has just changed our lives.
All right, that's a good way to get started here. And let me just pull up my presentation. And so can we all see that?
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, so just like Ivan said, Empower is out there doing what we do. And what exactly do we do? So Empower is a national nonprofit, and we're actually dedicating to creating pathways to helping people launch their careers in technology. We usually serve military veterans, military spouses, and also young adults 18 to 26 from underserved communities. We have a national footprint. Currently, we are headquartered in New York, but we recently, I would say about 11 months ago, we launched the IT Support Specialist Program here in Los Angeles County. And so far, these last two cohorts have been a great success. I would say thanks to a lot of people in this room today for being a great supporters of our program. And so our population that we serve is very diverse. Everything from military veterans, reservists, military spouses, and also young adults 18 to 26, specifically here in Los Angeles County through the what was formerly the IT Support Specialist Program, but now it's going to go into the Tech Fundamentals Program. And so a little bit about our national success. So 100% of the individuals who participate in our program are either unemployed or underemployed. And remarkably, 80% who actually enroll in our program actually graduate. And 81%, they pursue careers in tech or they continue their education. Whereas it could be in the field of technology, or some of them continue their bachelor's degree and so forth. And so a little bit about what the program offers. There's 4 different levels, I would say, or elements of our program. It starts with the technical training. It's an 18-week Monday through Friday commitment. Our trainees can choose from 2 different time slots, either 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. In addition to that, every single Thursday is professional development day. So this is an opportunity where we build up their professional persona and also prepare them for the placement opportunities that the program offers. One more thing on the technical training side of the house. It is virtual. It is instructor-led. So it's not asynchronous where we just give them the materials and have them go figure it out themselves. There's an actual instructor who's walking them through the process. And then finally, what makes our program very unique is the social support aspect of our program. So each trainee has a dedicated social support manager. And this manager, really the whole purpose is that there's always going to be challenges that come up. And so everything from supporting them in the areas of childcare, transportation, food insecurity, housing referrals, emotional well-being, and other services that our program provides. And so a little bit about our technical training program. So our Tech Fundamentals program is an 18-week training program that really brings an intro to computer fundamentals, IT networking, troubleshooting, infrastructure, admin, and support. There's 4 different certs that our trainees are working towards. And so it's the CompTIA IT Fundamentals Plus, the Google IT Support, the Microsoft 365, and the Azure Credentials. And so once our students are done with our program, they can continue advancing their education in cybersecurity or cloud computing as an alumni of the Tech Fundamentals program. And so again, it's completely free, and this all of this training is completely free to them. As I mentioned, these are the certs. The first 10 weeks of the program, we focus on 2 different certs. And then the last 8 weeks of the program, we focus on the last remaining. So a little bit about Professional Development Day, which is every single Thursday. So this is where we practice the elevator pitches, the mock interviews, we conduct the resume workshops. We bring in recruiters, we bring in coaches, mentors, everything and anything you can think of to kind of build that professional persona and prepare them for the opportunities in paid internships, direct placement, job referrals in the field of tech. Some of our national and also regional placement partners. And this one slide right here is one that, is, I would say, one of my favorite ones, right? Especially during this time when we talk about saving and making sure that what we're doing is cost effective. And so really the trainee completion cost is at zero. The whole entire program is free, including the certifications that they're going to be sitting on. We also cover those certs as well. And there have been times where, let's say they don't pass the first time around, we're here to help them pass the second time around by providing that voucher as well. And so the average time of completion is about 6 months. And again, the program is only 18 weeks, but then we start the placement opportunities. And so placement usually in their first tech role ranges from, I would say, since the moment they finish their program to about a year. And graduation rate is 80%. And the average trainee debt once they complete our entire program is 0. So if you do a random Indeed, I would say a search and you look into IT positions, you will see that here in California, specifically, it all depends with the area you're in. It is the starting salary is about $54,000. And I'm just going to stop here real quick and just throw it over to our program director, Pedro. Is there anything that you want to interject here?
I do, but first that Bill has raised. So I was wondering what your question was.
Sorry, the presentations, only commissioners can ask questions. Sorry, Mr. Sims.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, I apologize. I should have maybe made that clear during public comment, but sorry. Just to let you know, we have about 2 minutes left.
Got it.
Perfect. Okay,
so I would add it, yes. So like Rocio was saying, it's a holistic approach. On the journey, there's obstacles and challenges. Our social support manager is there to give out referrals for anything from professional dress to housing, HSA, human service agencies, things of that nature. The application process is 2 parts. So the first part is basically a professional interview, kind of gauging where a person's at. And then the next part is a social support assessment, meaning do they have all their basic needs met? What's going on in their life right now? Do they need an accommodation for childcare, or do they have a job that might interfere in some of the schedule? That's why we have that, so we could work with them to succeed. Rocio, I'd like to give you the last minute.
Excellent. Thank you, Pedro. I love that you included that information as well. And yeah, speaking of the application process, so our next cohort, our next class is January 2023. And our application opens up this September. And so the best way to apply is to go to our website. I am going to put on the chat my contact information, our contact information. If for any reason you want to learn more about the program or introduce it to the veterans or the clients that you serve, I am more than happy to connect and see how we can move forward in getting this information disseminated to more veterans here in Los Angeles County. So I guess that's time. Again, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to introduce you to NPower.
Great, and thanks so much for joining us. Just a quick follow-up question. I think you mentioned that the LA market is fairly new for NPower. Is that right?
Correct.
How many veterans have gone through the program, or is it brand new?
Currently, so our pilot class, we started that in October of last year. It was 25 students. About half of them were veterans, and and spouses, mostly veterans, a few spouses. And then currently we have a class of 81, 82. And it's about a split half as well.
Yes, half.
In LA, the current class is 40 veterans.
Yeah, approximately, yes.
Oh, great. Great.
Yeah, and I will add, Anthony, about 11 are female veterans. And so we're happy to see that we have a lot of female veterans looking into getting into the tech field.
Awesome. Commissioners, do you have any further questions? Doesn't sound
Not
like.
at this time.
Go
Not at
ahead,
this time.
Commissioner Leal.
No questions, but welcome to Los Angeles.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
The final thing I'll add, I read, I think it was an ABC article a while back, but LAHSA, when they were talking about housing security, had a very interesting, number that they put out there. Basically said that the average Angelino needs to make approximately $42 an hour to be housing secure. So maybe just a suggestion, if you can localize your hiring salary for the LA area, I think that would be helpful. I think in demonstrating the importance of the training. Maybe that number is different than the LAHSA number, but I think that would be a good addition when presenting in LA. I think that would be helpful and to demonstrate how the training program can actually make people more housing secure.
Thank you. That's an excellent point. We do a national average, and other states have a lower cost of living, so that kind of lowers the average a little bit. But yes, California is very expensive. Right.
That's what I was saying. If you could localize the data, I think that would be great, because 56 nationwide is different than 56 in LA, and even in different parts of LA, right? So, I'm sorry, I just realized my camera's not on. I'm still here. Okay, great. If there's nothing else, going once, going twice, commissioners, any questions? Okay, great. Thank you, NPower, for hanging in there with us for the past couple of months. We've had a busy agenda, and feel free to come back and provide public comments and let us know how things are going.
Absolutely. Thank you again, everyone, for your attention.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Sounds good.
Our next agenda item, I believe, is TeleQ.
Yes, we'll share our screen.
All right. While the screen is going up, I just want to say, I am very familiar with the Veterans Upward Bound program. I think it's an amazing program. I don't think we have enough of it in LA County. I think my understanding is you're the only institution that's a Veterans Upward Bound program in the entire county.
Correct.
I think that's great for you. I think we need more of it. So hopefully you can explain to folks what Veterans Upward Bound is and why it's important.
Yes, and hopefully you're all able to see the presentation.
Yes, we can see the presentation.
Great, thank you, and thank you so much. And we're part of TeleQ Veterans Upward Bound, and we are the only one in the Los Angeles County. So there's 60 Veterans Upward Bound nationwide, 3 in California, and 1 serving the LA County area. And so I wanted to give you a little bit more information about the Veterans Upward Bound because it is a free grade service through the Department of Education. And sometimes a lot of people are not aware of this service. So the Veterans Upward Bound is a TRIO program. There's 7 TRIO programs, and Veterans Upward Bound is one of them. So it's fully funded by the U.S. Department of Education. So what that means is that every single service that we provide is completely free to the veteran. We never touch any of their VA benefits. Those are for them to use once they start college. So it's completely free. We provide them with supplies. We provide them with anything and everything they need for the classes. The Veterans Upper Bound was founded in the 1970s. So they started after the Vietnam era. They noticed that the veterans that were transitioning to college, there was a need to be something in between them coming out of the military and then going into college. And the reasons were various. Sometimes they had been out of school for a while, so it could have been, minimum of 4 years, but sometimes there's veterans that have been in school for 20 or more years and are interested in going back to college. And so what happens, like many of us, once we stop going to classes, we tend to forget some of the items. So for example, when they were taking the mathematics and the English, sometimes they weren't doing that well. And it all had to do because they hadn't refreshed right before. So the Veterans Upper Bound was created so veterans not only enrolled in college, but the idea is that they stayed, they persisted, and they completed a degree. So the Veterans Upper Bound has been since around, it has been very successful, and it has expanded throughout the country. With Teleku, it has been around since 1995, so it has been with us for many years. We serve 125 veterans every year, so over 3,000 veterans we have served since we started. And the mission continues to be the same, to prepare our veterans so they could successfully go into the program of their choice. So one of the nice things about this program is that the veteran is able to select the college they're interested in. So they come in with a goal. They tell us, there's a program I want to do. I'm interested in, and they could select whether some of them are interested in shorter term training, so like vocational programs. Some of them are interested in associates. Some of them are interested in the bachelor. So we'll work with them or we'll guide them through the whole process. And so through that, we also offer refresher courses. So we offer refresher courses in English, mathematics, and computers. So just a little bit of our structure of our program. So since we are that stepping stone before they start college, we have a 6-week program. It's a condensed program. And the reason is because we want to make sure that, let's say they're interested in the fall, they have time to enroll in our classes now. So then by the fall, they have taken those refresher courses. So we offer 4 academic quarters a year. And so right now we're currently offering them online through Zoom, so they're able to access wherever they're at. But when we have them in person, we also provide them with Metro cards so they could get to our center if they need public transportation, and they're able to take them in person when we have them. And the nice thing is that the classes are taught by instructors. So these are subject matter experts in their field. So we have English, math, and computers, and we have different levels. So we have a beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And we have this just because our veterans come with, some of them have strengths in math, but maybe they lack a little bit in English or vice versa. So for example, for mathematics, we have a beginner class. A beginner class will be something like basic arithmetic, percentages, things like that. And the reason we offer it is because we always say math is sequential. So let's say you don't have the basic understanding of that arithmetic, it's going to be really hard as you move forward. And so our classes could go all the way to pre-calculus. And then for our English, we also have similar things. So sometimes our veterans, they just need to brush up on basic grammar. So we have a grammar review, but our classes could go all the way to college level writing. And we say that nowadays, whatever major you're pursuing, you're bound to have to write an essay. So we want to make sure that they feel ready for that. And these are skills that not only will transfer into the education, but eventually into their career. English and math we always use it. And so it's really important that they understand this. And then the last one we have computer skills. Nowadays, especially, we saw lately, we have to be tech savvy, and most of the classes, most colleges are expecting that you know how to be tech savvy. So we want to prepare those veterans that maybe are lacking those skills. So we also have computer classes as well, and we do a lot of Microsoft Office. We review Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and we have a beginner class also for some of our veterans that maybe have taken a longer break and they need more of a refresher course. And once again, these are skills that they could also use once they go into the workforce, because most of us are using some sort of software. For example, right now we're all using Teams. So it's important for them to be able to use these skills. And so we offer morning and evening classes. Our morning classes are Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 to 12. And our evening classes are Wednesdays and Thursdays from 5:30, 8:30. And like I mentioned earlier, we have these refresher classes. One additional class that we have that I didn't mention was we have Tech Tuesdays. So for students that are interested in learning a little bit more about beginning HTML, they could go ahead and enroll with us on Tuesdays. And the idea is to get them started. We're not the end of all. We want to make sure that they continue. So we do partner up with different organizations, different programs for them to continue. So if tech is something they're interested in, then eventually we'll help them pursue a tech career somewhere at a college or things like that. So we tell them this is just the beginning of you and your academics. And one of the things things that we do is at the end of the quarter, we do provide them with the certificate of completion. And this is for them. It serves several purposes. First, it's a motivation. It's a motivation that they were able to complete this, and hopefully that motivation brings them into the next when they start college, and it helps them out. But it also is for them to be able to, you know, sometimes they have to say like, what have they been doing throughout this time? They're able to show that that they completed this program. Sometimes some of the schools give priority. So for example, when it's time to transfer, a lot of our students start at a community college and then transfer out. When it's time to transfer, some of these schools will ask, have you ever been part of any of these special programs? And we are one of those special programs that take special consideration. So for example, the Cal State system, they'll check off a box and they say, yes, I was part of the Veterans Upper Bound, and that gives them priority when they apply to colleges. So there's many benefits, and so we do give them a certificate of completion for them completing. But in addition to the classes, another main component that we have is the academic advisement. So we serve 125 veterans a year, but what we do is we divide it out into quarters. So we serve about 32 veterans per quarter. And this allows for the staff to really have that one-on-one with the students. So throughout the quarter, they are able to meet with an academic advisor. So not only do they set their goals of what their education plans are, but they also get assistance through different workshops. The staff put together workshops. Currently, they're online, and they have different topics that they cover, but it could be from study skills to how to fill out a financial aid application. So like, hey, what is VA educational benefits? Do I still qualify? What happens if I don't qualify? Is there still money out there for me to go to college? And the answer is yes, but we want to make sure that we walk them through the whole process. We also have special events throughout the quarter. We have virtual campus tours. So right now we have different campus representatives come and talk a little bit more about their schools, especially their veteran programs. And then we also connect them with partnering resources. So I know I've seen a lot of you that are here. We connect with you, and the reason is because we only provide the education piece, but we know that there's also needs outside of education. And so that's why it's really important that we collaborate with other individuals, that we partner up, so we could go ahead and refer our veterans to those resources. The nice thing about Veterans Upper Bound, there's no restrictions on the amount of programs that are enrolled. So they could be enrolled with all the programs, you know, that they are eligible for and are. So that's a nice thing, that they could be co-enrolled with other veteran programs. And so we have that. But with me, I also have a team member that's here. She's one of our academic advisors, and she's going to share a little bit more in detail about what we do in our remaining minutes that we have.
Hi, everybody.
Just a heads up. Oh, I'm so sorry. About 2 more minutes.
Okay.
I'll make sure to get through it fast. Hi, everybody. My name is Lauren. I am the academic advisor here, and I'll take over for the rest of the presentation. So along with having academic advisement, we also keep our students updated and engaged. How we do that is allowing them to apply to scholarships that they can apply to, and we give them it as well. Just like Yesenia talked about, we do offer the college readiness workshops, and they provide vital information to students, whether they transfer into trade school or to university. And then again, we do the college campus tours to students, and they get to meet the VRC, and those are offered quarterly, and they're able to talk about enrollment and any financial aid information or any questions that they may have. Okay, so eligibility requirements. So for our veterans, we do, like, if they are low income or first generation college students, they do have an honorable discharge, completed 180 days of active service, which is 6 months. And then for our reservists, they have to complete a minimum of 30 days of active service. So looking ahead, requirements for enrollment. So registration is divided into 3 parts. First, you'll complete the application, pages 1 through 9. Submit your DD-214 with your character of discharge. Complete your assessment test. It's not a pass or fail, it's just to see where we place veterans for classes. And then completing an intake into the program where we discuss your academic goals or your career goals. And then once you're enrolled into the program, you receive your schedule with Zoom links to your classes, so that way you're able to access them the day of classes. We'll also do weekly reminders via text. We know that sometimes you tend to forget. Again, they do meet twice a week, so some of our veterans, they don't show up, so we have to text them hey, you have your class right now, please come in, and then they're able to join from there. And then one-on-one appointments will be discussed via Zoom or over phone, so again, that correlates to the intake. This is just a reminder that they are 6 weeks long and they are via Zoom. So our upcoming quarter is going to be summer, and those are just reminders about enrollment. So again, the application, DD-214, and assessment. Summer is going to run this year from July 18th through August 27th via Zoom, and then we have our new student orientation on Wednesday, July 6th at either 9 a.m. or 5:30. The program is really catered to whatever the veteran wants, so if they can't make the 9 a.m., they can also do the 5:30 p.m. Very nice for them, very convenient.
It's almost about time. So is there anything, okay, contact information.
Yes, that's our contact information. Feel free to reach out to us with any questions or concerns that you may have, and we would be happy to answer.
Yes, and we're also part of Unite Us in case you use that also as a referral service.
Yes.
Great. So as I mentioned, I mean, I'm a really big advocate for this program. I tried to go to school while I was on active duty, which is very difficult because you go to the field, you're gone for a week, and when I came out of active duty and I enrolled at Santa Monica College, I did in fact have to go to a remedial math course, which is understandable. It's a perishable skill. Unfortunately, though, those use GI Bill or VA education benefits. So I refer to them as vampire credits because they don't count towards graduation, yet they're still using your GI Bill benefit. So I think this program fills a gap, and it's really, I think we need to get more veterans to consider enrolling in this program if higher education is their route, or if they just want to, keep their mind active. I mean, I think in either case, this is great. And my only concern, and I'm curious to get your feedback. Granted, I think your headquarters is right off the metro line, right? Is that where this program takes place?
Yes, we're in East LA next to the East LA Vet Center. So we're right off one of the 720 lines and very close to the Gold Line.
So right now it's currently a Zoom program, but theoretically we're going to go back to in-person instruction, maybe ideally, I would imagine.
Yes, and we're planning to keep some sort of hybrid aspect to it. I know some veterans still like some of the online program. So we're going to keep that just in case for some of our veterans that won't be able to make it to our center.
Do you think that LA County would benefit from maybe one more Veterans Upward Bound program? Or
yes, that would be great. That would be great if there was more, even better.
Antelope Valley, I think LA is so big, right, that we could have a couple of different nodes, right? You all in East LA, maybe something on the west side, maybe something in the North Valley, or I'm not sure with online instruction if that negates the need or if you think the need is still there.
Yes, I think having more veterans upward bound will be it will just be a positive thing.
Great. I agree. I was curious from a provider how you felt about that. Any other commissioners?
Yes, I put a couple of questions in the chat. This is Commissioner McFadden. So I was just curious. The three questions I had were: how many offices again? Was it nationwide? And then is it only up to your bachelor's? And is it only for your first degree, or can people still utilize the service for secondary degrees as well?
Yes. So the nationwide, there's 60 nationwide. So there's about one in every state. We're lucky that we have 3 here in California. In terms of the degree, so typically our students are pre-college. So some of them are considering post-college, and in those cases we'll work one-on-one with them. But the majority of the curriculum is based more for pre-college students, so individuals that haven't gotten their bachelor's degree yet. But we could always support those continuing after that. And for those that had a degree or maybe started a degree, like they got a certificate or associates and they want to continue, they could definitely come with us. We do get a lot of students that started and were never able to complete their bachelor's. They could come in and continue, and we'll help them complete that process.
That's awesome. Thank you. Definitely we'll be connecting with you all. Again, this is a great program. I've seen the benefits of what you all do, so I'm happy to reconnect.
Thank you.
Any other commissioners?
It's Commissioner Jolia. I can attest, just testimony on everything I've seen from Veterans Upward Bound. They've been amazing for many years, nothing but positive outcomes. I really enjoy seeing them table a lot of events to get the word out. So seeing them in action, everything that they're discussing is beyond lip service, through action, everything that they state and beyond. Great job, Veterans Upward Bound. Like they mentioned, hopefully we see more because the need is great. LA County is the largest contingency on paper and in physical form of veterans. So definitely we can't we can't thank you enough. So appreciate all of you.
Thank you, Commissioner Dro. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay. Last call for commissioners. Any questions? Okay, thank you, Veterans Upward Bound. We all love what you're doing. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
I think that's a thumbs up for support. Okay, I think for our next agenda item is Jim Zenner with VPN.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Today we released the 2021 annual report for VPN. I have the slide deck up. I'm going to go through it quickly, but this will be available to everybody as of today. I'll make sure to get this to Stephanie so she can disseminate as appropriate. So today we got to talk to everybody at the LA Veteran Commission or Collaborative and share all these results. This is a result of work from our partners over at Southern California Grantmakers, our 70 veteran and family member peers across LA County and each of the SOUP districts, including our DMH team, as well as some volunteers. We started the support line in June 2020 during the middle of the pandemic. And, we had volunteer veterans and family members that work for the Department of Mental Health volunteer for this assignment and be part of this effort. So without them, this wouldn't have been possible. Let me pull up the slides here real quick. So this is just a quick forward from our director who really, it was his vision around VPN and his support along with the boards that made this happen. VPN is all about access. I'm going to kind of go through these first slides quickly because we all know what VPN is. Really our major goals are in the lower left-hand corner there. So really developing a clear roadmap, no wrong door, increasing awareness across LA County, and of course, decreasing veteran suicide, veteran homelessness, and unemployment. This is a breakdown by month of what veterans and family members were requesting services from our VPN team. The vast majority is benefits navigation. So the vast majority of those referrals went to our partners over at LA County Department of Military Veteran Affairs VSOs. A close second is housing and shelter, which should be no surprise to any of us, given the housing crisis that we've been in as a community. And then employment, income support, individual and family support, which is equivalent of peer support or like childcare needs, things like that, followed by mental health and legal. But each of those colors are represented in each of those bars on each month. These are new unique veterans and family members served by month. So we started the program in January 2021, starting around 50. We've worked our way up to really kind of identify and bring about 300 to 350 new veterans and family members into the safety net of VPN, providing education and linking to resources. All about access. So total number of veterans served, veterans and family members served is 2,555 for the year 2021. Number of service requests, basically number of services that those 2,555 individuals requested, was a little over 5,800. So a little over 2 different type of service needs per individual served. And then, of course, we have the breakdown: housing and shelter, benefits, navigation, employment, income support, and individual and family. And most recently, and I've covered this in a few earlier commission meetings, as the pandemic continues, we've seen more, and the prices go up with inflation. We've seen more and more need for like income support, benefits, navigation, things that increase veterans and their families' financial well-being. This is our support line for 2021, starting off around 400, 500, steadily climbed. And as of last month of May, we hit almost 1,100 calls. So now we're a little bit over 1,000. We have a goal of about 2,000 per month that we want to hit. And as we continue to get the word out and expand the program, we will no doubt hit that number. And then on the insights on the right side, it just talks about the number of high-risk veterans that come into the program. So we've made a very concerted effort to link up with different emergency and crisis response programs that the county has to offer, as well as advocated for the VA to create their own crisis response team, which is the VMET. So traditionally, a lot of those veterans that got a call from PMRT or were responded to, or from our MET program out in the county, there really wasn't a lot of follow up and follow through to make sure that those high risk veterans got connected to the VA or county services. VPAN the team has definitely stepped up in that area and really connected with our veterans and families in crisis. This slide just talks about kind of the process. So it all starts with the veteran and the family member. They can get a hold of us either through the hotline, the support line that's available 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Or just going to appear at one of our rally points or one of our community access points. I mean, we really put a lot of effort into making it simple and not creating a lot of red tape for veterans and family members to connect with us. And of course, DMH and CBO, we have DMH directly operated staff out in each of the SOUP districts, as well as our community-based partners. And really, we rely heavily on the LA Veteran Collaborative. That's the biggest collaborative in the state. And I think we have over 300 partners there. And really, we've been ramping up the culture in the collaborative to really, identify barriers and issues that peers and other providers in the community are faced, and then turn that into really a problem-solving mechanism. So peers aren't left with veteran needs that they can't solve on their own. We're really taking a community approach around problem solving. And on the bottom, you'll see Unite Us. Thank you, Teleku. You guys have been a great partner with Unite Us. You signed up at the very beginning and have really done a lot with us to expand that. And then on the very bottom, you'll see the online learning community through UCLA Veteran Family Wellness Center. That is a free online thing that you can sign up for training, as well as we have discussion boards. People from the community through the LA Veteran Collaborative constantly update different events. Mr. Chair, how much time do I have left?
We're just about done. Is there one slide that you think we should, if there was one more slide to go through, which one do you think it would be?
I need to go through 5 real quick. So we broke it down in this report. We broke it down by SOUP district. So, and okay. Like I said, we'll send this out to everybody. This is a slide for SOUP district 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you can see it breaks down the top 5 needs for 2021, as well as a breakdown of clients by military affiliation and age. And then it also gives you names of your team members with your particular supervisor district team. And that is all I got. And I will make sure that the commission has this.
Great. Well, I know today's a big day for VPAN as far as the first annual report. That's right? That's
correct. Yep.
Great. So thanks for sharing the high level details. I'll look forward to taking a look at ST3 specific data. I'm sure the commissioners will do the same for their districts. Commissioners, do you have any questions of Mr. Zenner of VPAN?
No questions. But always good to see you.
Likewise, Dewan. Thank you.
Okay, hearing none. Commissioners, last chance. Okay. Thanks, Jim. Hopefully we'll see you next month. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm having connectivity issues. Can anyone hear me?
Hear you.
Yes,
Okay.
we can hear you. Yeah.
Sorry about that. So we deferred the discussion to next meeting regarding the creation of a bylaw subcommittee. It sounds like, based off of feedback from the commissioners, that an ad hoc nominating committee is no longer necessary. I do hope Commissioner Leal approves of the poster I created for him. You know, go Army, retro Army, old school Army. And then the next slide is a boring slide. I think if you can go to the next slide, next agenda item, item 11. Not so cool, but that's the only photo I could find for bylaws. So we will defer discussion of the creation of an ad hoc bylaws subcommittee to the next meeting when we have quorum. And so these two items are complete, and we can go to, I believe, our department report as item number 12.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Let me see.
Okay.
There we go.
Director Stone, it's all yours.
Thank you so much. I'll share my screen. Second. I have an abbreviated report to give this month, recognizing that we didn't have a quorum. I decided that I will present largely on veteran services and our current process, which is working on the audit. So with that, we have Chris Duarte on the call as well. Let me go ahead and get started, if I may. So,
hello everyone.
There you go.
Just to give you just brief numbers of where we're at today and where we're going, we're approximately right now at about close to about 8,300 audible claims filed, with possibly about half of those will be awarded that we're posting today. We're going to reach about the $30 million point. We're coming up on, I'm not going to get into all of these lump sums here, but what we're doing right now is amazing for what we've been able to do for the last few years, as far as maintaining the amount of monetary benefits and awards benefit that we're bringing in for the number of people we have. Can
I take it just for a second, Chris, and then I'm going to hand it off to you again. All right. So I just want to again remind everyone that it's not only important for us to what the work that our veteran service counselors do. It connects the veterans to their benefits, but it also brings in dollars to the County of Los Angeles, and that shows up in different ways. We want to make sure that we're actually touching the veterans in the county, and you can see by the first total service to veterans numbers that based off of last year's numbers, which is in the red, the 8,881 to the 9,000 that we've served to date, that we've already exceeded our goals from last year. The same thing could be said of our indigent, our female, our homeless, and our incarcerated. Of course, that's the newest position that we have on staff. You met him last month. Ray has started his new role working with incarcerated veterans and charged into that responsibility. So with that, we have total claims of over 18,000 for our veterans. And then I'm going to hand back over to Chris to talk about the not just the numbers of claims that we're producing, but also the importance and the subvention funding that comes from that.
Yes, it's integral that the money, I think it comes out to about $68 per claim filed and claim awarded. And we're getting to that point right now where we're going to back to pre-COVID times, where we're going into a higher phase and assisting more people. I think it's very important to note that we're doing this with very minimal staff and doing things that are very extraordinary, pushing people to do things with the influx of all these wonderful programs, and we're still able to do it. I think it can only be noted that when we were at our peakest prior to the pandemic, we were bringing in about $60 million of compensation and pension money into the county of Los Angeles. We're getting back to that post era, and it's amazing what we're able to do and the capabilities that we're able to do with the limited resources that we have. It's a testament to all of you and our entire staff.
And do you also talk about the college fee waiver program? I may have lost Chris on this. So, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, I lost you.
I'm sorry. We're averaging. We always average at least 2,000 per month or per year. Excuse me, per fiscal year. And
the time frame?
Within our fiscal year, which is from July to June, and we're averaging at least 2,000. We've always maintained that, and now we have our electronic signatures that have made us capable to do that. We are continuing to service at a high level. I think it's important that we continue to monitor our capabilities and our resources to support the programs that we have.
Absolutely. So what you can see on the screen right now is the total number of claims that we've, and again, we're far from the end of this fiscal year. We've already filed 16,000 or 1,600 college fee waivers for this year. And the other numbers that you see on your screen, the UC at $11,000, that's per student. That's the compensation that the UC system receives, or that university receives in compensation for the child of a service-connected veteran. The same for CSU, they get about $6,000, and a community college gets about $1,000 per student. Overall, we've already received over $9 million in compensation. Thank you, Chris.
Can I ask a follow-up or just a
Please.
quick
No,
clarifying?
please do.
So the number in white is this fiscal year,
This
and the
fiscal
number
year.
in red was the previous fiscal year?
Yes. Same
Wow.
timeline.
Okay.
Same timeline. So we're doing really well, recognizing that. Well, as all of you know, we've been going back and forth. It's been a very schizophrenic year in terms of opening and closing Bob Hope Patriotic Hall, and that affects our clients as well. So veteran service counselors have been doing a yeoman's job, as the Navy would say, really reaching out to veterans wherever they are, however they can, to ensure that they're getting their services met. And of course, what I was asking Chris about in terms of what the time frame is for the college fee waivers, they have to wait until tax season comes around, because you can't apply for a college fee waiver unless you've already submitted your taxes or have waived that because you don't make the income. So this is in a very short period of time. The Veteran Service Division puts on their hat and big boy clothes, and they go out there and they are just working diligently to meet the needs of the community to ensure that all of these claims, the college fee waivers, are getting submitted in a timely manner so that these students can get through. So again,
processed it electronically, and it's what we're learning now is we can do things that we were not capable of doing a few years ago, and we're doing them today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And commissioners, you can help us. This is George. Pitch the program and get them into us, because it does save the constituents a lot of money in tuition. My daughter graduated Cal Poly Pomona, got a bachelor's degree through the program. It's a really great program, and you guys out there in the field can really wrap it up for us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, George. Yeah, I always, not only do I sell this product as an employee of the county, but also as a client, if you will. And I too am a client. Both my children went to university off this benefit, and it doesn't stop. They actually have better benefits than we do in California, because it doesn't stop at the undergrad or even the graduate. If the student decides that they want to go off to a PhD or doctorate, um, as George has reminded us, we have students out there going through law school right now off a college fee waiver. So take advantage of it if you have children, and if you know of others, or if you could help us by pitching this wonderful program. It's one of my favorite.
That's incredible. I didn't know that it was for graduate programs as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. And then again, I'm really pulling back on the amount of information I'm giving you all today. I just want to just hit on some light spots. Right now, we have Janae Davis on the line too. Janae oversees special programs. With that, I want to remind us that we all were invited to participate in the Veterans Day events. It started off with Supervisor Barger's office and her program. She had the 24th annual tribute to veterans and military families. It was well received and attended. It was a beautiful event. And most of our staff was there supporting both by developing claims, working with the Veterans Employee Association, supporting that, as well as George was out there doing interviews for the departments, working with the Department of Human Resources. So again, thank you, George Dixon, for doing all that heavy working for us that Saturday. Additionally, then on Monday, we had the Memorial Day, and so you saw us at the National Cemetery, Los Cinco Puntos in east of Los Angeles, and Woodlawn Celestial Gardens in Compton. Again, thank you, Commissioner Jackson Kelly, for coming out and being a speaker for us at that event. More recently, we had the Welcome Home Veteran Resource Fair. And again, online, we have Janae Davis, who is overseeing special programs. Janae, are you on the line?
Yes, sorry, can you hear me there?
We can. Go ahead,
Sorry
please.
about that. Good afternoon, everybody. Just want to share with you a little bit about the resource fair we had recently, and I'll start with how it evolved. In late August of 2021, the Board of Supervisors called for the creation of an Afghan task force to provide resources to ensure successful transition from for our incoming Afghan refugees. And at the same time, MVA was asked by the board to ensure that resources were made available to veterans who served in the Afghan war. In response, we developed a resource fair entitled Welcome Home Troops last Friday, June 3rd, at Bob Hope Patriotic Hall. The event was the first face-to-face event that we've had since we reopened to the public. And it went off really well. The fair took place in the lobby with about 22 service vendors providing resources, including voting, as you see in the photos there, and COVID vaccination shots to approximately 70 veterans in attendance. We had very generous sponsors to include the Department of Mental Health's VPAN van, which they used to shuttle veterans to and from to the event, along with the support we received from LA Trade Tech for additional parking spaces in their lot. The Los Angeles Veteran Commission donated a total of 50 gift cards, each with $50 on each for gas. And
I think you meant to say the collaborative.
I'm sorry, yes, I always mix the two, and pardon me. The Los Angeles Veterans Collaborative donated 50 gift cards for gas, with about $50 on each gift card for our veterans. And then Vet Hunters Project also donated 120 Subway lunch boxes. Many veterans express their appreciation and gratitude that I was able to speak to at the event, including the most memorable was a Marine vet I met named Christopher Cooley, who explained that this was the first event he had attended in a long time. And after meeting with several of the veterans in attendance and speaking to a lot of the resource providers, it renewed his esteem as a veteran. So he's looking forward to the next event. So needless to say, this was our first event, but it will not be our last. We will be planning more, and we are looking forward to providing even more resource fairs. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, that was last week, and this week we're closed. As you may or may not know, we have the Summit of the Americas in town, and we're told the afternoon of the Welcome Home Resource Fair that the roads would be closed surrounding Bob Hope Patriotic Hall. So if you've been around the downtown area, you may have seen the traffic is a little lighter in some areas, and much heavier in others as everybody's trying to navigate their way around. We were told at the last minute, largely because of the number of heads of state that are in Los Angeles. So I just ask you to be careful while you're out traveling through the weekend. I understand it goes through Saturday. So the last thing I would talk about is our gender impact assessment and SB 1182. I have already shared with this group the gender impact assessment project that we are involved with, working with the Women and Girls Initiative. It's a three-pronged project for military and veteran affairs. The first is to evaluate and do a gender assessment on our staff. The next is to do a gender assessment of our clients. And the last was to do a gender assessment on the veterans in the diversion programs. After meeting with Ms. Suttle and Ms. Dixon, whom again have met with this commission in the past, the department has decided to shift its focus to veterans in the family court program. And so we will be moving forward with and have informed Women and Girls Initiative and the GIA project that our focus will be veterans and family court. That said, met with Ms. Suttle and Ms. Dixon to talk about their efforts, and I can't say enough for her dedication to this issue. She is largely responsible, Ms. Suttle is largely responsible for the creation of the SB 1182. This is a new law that's being voted on through the Senate, I believe, Ms. Suttle. I believe she's online right now. It was introduced by Senator Eggman, and this law authorizes this bill would authorize a veteran to provide information about their veteran status on the MIL 100 form and file that form with the court. And then it would be served to other parties, such as the Department of Veteran Affairs, such as the Department of Military and Veteran Affairs with LA County, to connect with the veteran and connect that veteran with resources. Right now, those services go to veterans who are part of either the criminal court systems through either the diversion programs or the post-trial vet court process. So this new program would actually be going to, again, family courts, recognizing that these individuals, the veterans, are not guilty of anything other than going through this process with a partner or spouse, and it's our duty to be able to support them and provide them with the resources that they have available to them in the area that they may not be aware of.
Director, can I ask a follow-up question
please.
regarding SB 1182? I've reviewed the legislation. I also spoke with Senator Eggman's office regarding it. I believe that there were some proposed amendments. Do you know the timeline for this legislation to move? And the reason why I ask is, do you think it would be appropriate for the commission to consider a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors? I know that this is something that Ms. Tuttle it has brought to the commission's attention for even before I was a commissioner. And I think to her credit, there's been some movement in the state legislature, but is there something that we can do as a county commission to push things along?
You can, but I believe the timeline is by the end of, I'm gonna misspeak unless, let me do this. I will unshare my screen, and I have the date that Ms. Tuttle has shared with us in the past, so it'll allow me a moment to pull that information up.
I know that there's a little bit of lag between what we can do, as official business and what the state legislature is doing. So I'm not sure if the timing is going to work out, but for the other commissioners' benefit, while the director is pulling it up, if you can look up SB 1182, I think it's worth reviewing and maybe bringing it to the attention of your deputies.
Definitely have a timeline if you want me to share it real quick.
Yeah, please do. Please do. I'm looking it up as we speak. Go ahead.
Okay, can everybody see it?
Yeah.
So to May 27th in state, and we're about at, let's see. Looks like last action was May 27th.
Right.
And if you look at the top right here, it says the bill will be commencing January 1, 2024 if enacted. So,
Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Commissioners, drafting up something to the boss, board supervisors would be really great, and giving them a nudge, since we deal with the criminal courts and diversion and vet courts. This would actually help Veterans and Family Court. With your assistance in pushing it, having been through that process myself as a veteran through juvenile court with my daughter in custody, it would have helped me when I gained custody of her at age 9. So it would be a really great thing for us to nudge them.
Yeah.
To your question, Mr. Chair, they're asking for a letter of support no later than June 10th. So I don't know that. I don't believe that you'll be able to provide that as a commission, as a body in time, but you can certainly provide that as individual supporters.
Yes.
And I can have Stephanie push that out to the commissioners so that you can all make your own decision on that.
Yeah, I think the timing may not work to act as an official body, but as individual citizens, I would bring this to your board deputies' attention, and if you see fit, maybe support it yourself. But again, I would encourage you to take a look at the legislation.
So with that, I will end my report. Thank you so much. And are there any other questions?
Commissioners, any follow-up questions?
None for me.
Commissioner Leal, okay, thank you. I would only offer one suggestion with respect to the website. I know that it's new and we're constantly making modifications to it. I think we need to ensure that there's a subscription box. I think that's missing. In the past, it was a pop-up, but pop-ups can be missed, and some web browsers treat them differently than others. So I noticed in the upper right-hand corner, there's a couple icons for social media. Maybe throwing it up there, so at least it stays in the header of the page, no matter where you are. Maybe a little email icon where they can click on it and then get to the Gov Delivery subscription box. I think that would be helpful.
I will let you know also that I have Kathleen Pichet, who is responsible for the website. She is scheduled to speak to the commission next month. So we will also bring that to her beforehand.
Great. And yeah, I think that'll solve an issue. I don't know if you heard at the beginning of the commission meeting, I just encourage people to email the general inbox if they want to subscribe.
That's perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Director Stone. I appreciate it. I believe we're at the good of the order. Okay. This is an opportunity for commissioners to speak their mind. Commissioner Leal, feel free.
Chair, at this moment, I really don't have anything outside of May was a very unique, very strong month as we discussed, back-to-back events. I know for myself, SD1 and other commissioners, we represented very well. I do appreciate the event that was led by MVA this recently. I had a lot of fun. I did hear a lot of positive feedback that people were just happy to be back at Patriotic Hall. People were just happy to just be amongst other veterans and the community that supports them. So I look forward to more continued events. MVA is doing a great job putting a lot of good stuff together. And my hat's off, as always, to both Jim Zenner, DMH, and all the MVA staff for the great work that they're doing. This collaboration only works because we all take the time to work together and continuously massage our relationships. That's all I got, Chair.
Great, thank you, Commissioner. I believe Commissioner Moore is not with us. Commissioner Jackson Kelly, how's your audio? Can you hear us? I still see Commissioner Jackson Kelly is on mute. I'm not sure if there's anything in the chat. I know Commissioner McFadden had to step off a little early. I think she's not with us currently. For my go to the order, I just wanted to note that recently there was a opening for the New Directions Oasis Women's Housing Program at VA West Los Angeles. I think that this is a significant milestone. If people recall, the master plan outlined special prioritization for campus services, chronically homeless veterans, disabled veterans, but in particular female veterans with and without dependents. This is the first opening of a female-specific program with regard to housing on the campus. So I would encourage everyone to learn more about it. Again, it's the New Directions Oasis Women's Housing Program. It is currently, or it's at Building 257, which was the Welcome Center. I believe it still is the Welcome Center, but there's a private entrance for the female residents who will stay there while they pursue their path to permanent housing. So I think it's a great thing. I'd encourage everyone to learn more about it. And maybe we can ask them for a briefing at a later date. I know Commissioner Campbell is not with us. Commissioner Rodarte, I don't think is with us. Commissioner Zato, you're still in a holding pattern. Hopefully next meeting you'll be officially seated. And that leaves us with Commissioner Gutierrez.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Hi, yeah. So you know, I just same thing along the same lines as Joe. May was a great month for us. A lot of different events, a lot of things going on. The tribute to veterans and families was just it was nice being back and seeing it the way it was before the pandemic. So that was great. And also thanks to MVA for setting up the Top Gun, for being part of that Top Gun premiere. It was an awesome event, and getting to see all the Marines and sailors from Fleet Week out for the screening of Top Gun was just it was a nice experience. Thank you for MVA for coordinating that. I really appreciate that. So that's all.
Thanks, Commissioner. And Commissioner Anderson is jumping out of airplanes at the moment, I'm sure, doing a Normandy celebratory jump. So Godspeed to him. I hope he comes back for next month and he can tell us a little bit about his experience in Normandy. So with that, I believe that concludes the agenda items for today. If there are no objections, I think we are ready to adjourn. Oh, actually, let me take a step back. I'm sorry. One more slide. I think we skipped one with regard to agenda items for next month. So one thing I wanted to point out, we've had a lot of back and forth with the Department of Children and Family Services. My understanding is we have a commitment from them to present to the commission next month. We will also get a briefing from CalVet regarding the state of the state of veteran services, which is something that's going to be a little bit longer than a typical briefing, but we'll also hear from CalVet in July. If there's any other, the commissioners that are currently available or online, would you like to add any potential agenda items? Okay, hearing none. We'll move forward.
Not at this moment.
Okay, thanks, Commissioner Leal. So now we can move to adjournment. If there are no objections, we can adjourn the meeting. Commissioner Leal, Commissioner Gutierrez, any other commissioners? We good to go?
Good to go, sir.
Great. Thank you so much. This has been the Veterans Advisory Commission meeting for June 8th. I forgot what day it was. June 8th. Appreciate everyone showing up and sharing information about your various programs. And we will reconvene next month, and hopefully we'll have a quorum where we can proceed on the bylaws. So thanks, everyone. Take care. Have a good day.